Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the High Ticket Coaching and Consultant Strategy and Growth Show. Now, if you're watching this interview anywhere else but within our private Facebook community called High Ticket Client Attraction Insider Circle, then definitely come check us out. We'd love to have you. That group was put together specifically for our coaches, consultants, and service providers who are serious about getting up to that 6 and that 7-figure level. So if that's you, definitely come check us out. So today, I want to introduce you to one of the members of our community, Kate Arcangeli. Welcome, Kate.
Thanks for having me, Extus.
Awesome.
I'm happy to be here. I'm excited.
Awesome. Love it. So tell us, what do you do? What is that you do?
Well, I'm a priestess. I'm consecrated in the lineage of Mary Magdalene, the apostolic succession of her. And I will explain more what that's about. And she is known as the apostle to the apostles. So, and as a priestess, one of her great gifts is to be a teacher and a coach, and to initiate men and women into higher levels of consciousness and knowledge. And that's my specialty.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So what got you interested in this topic?
Long story. I know. Well, I was really involved in my church growing up, and I was always pulled into the spiritual arts and had a mystical connection ever since I was born. I really came in here as a child blown away by the mystical elements of being in this earth. And so I got involved in, actually, it was my piano teacher when I was 16. She had a friend who needed a piano accompanist for the local Catholic church, and she referred me. And that kind of started it all. I ended up, if you are an accompanist, you are co-celebrating the Mass with the priest. And I got really involved with the ceremony and the ritual. And it initiated me onto the path of the priestess, because a long time ago, the women and the men would do these ceremonies together. And so it's been a process pretty much since I was of initiation on my own path, from 16 to pretty much around 33. And now it's a time of becoming is what I'm in now. I am that person now, and I'm becoming that in the light. It took a long time to integrate. I've had to initiate myself through other people and through other gifts around me into these higher levels of consciousness and knowledge to even be able to help pass that on to others. So it's been a long journey, over half my life at this point. Yeah, I'm 34, so over half my life.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Love it. So tell me, what's based on where you're at right now in your life and your business, where things going on, what are you seeing as your priority? What's your mission?
Well, my mission is really simple, but it's not easy. My highest aim is to help heal the world in the most optimum way I possibly can.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I use the word help and facilitate. And I cannot heal anyone. I can only heal others. I can only help you and help facilitate you. True healing comes from within, and then it emanates out, and not the other way around. Yeah. So that's my highest aim and my mission.
Awesome. And how do you, based on what are you doing right now? How are you bringing that to reality?
It's a great question. I have been working my little tushy off. I'm just started in the light. I think I was kind of hinting at that. This is my first interview, so thank you for having me. And in the light, I have talked like this, in different jobs and different roles many, many, many times. So I have launched officially my website and my social media accounts. And I have, so I have two things going on right now. My music name, my DJ name, it's actually my DJ name, is I decided to go have a DJ name. I was like, I gotta do this, man, like Marshmallow, this is fun. And I have three names. And so Priestess House is my ministry and my music. So it's my band name, and it's also my ministry. And I am launching a talk show here under the Priestess House envelope in the next week to 2 weeks. And I'm inviting healers onto my show, and they can share their offerings in a very safe place. And basically the talk show is going to be all about healing, how we're going to help heal this world. And that's also my platform for my music. And so it's sort of, think about church, right? You have the pastor, the minister, and they're chit-chat. Normally there's music involved in most denominations. and different religions. So I think about like this modern take on that, right? But I'm not, at this stage, it's for profit. I'm not calling it a church specifically. This is new paradigm stuff, so I'm still getting a lot of guidance on it. But at this time, this is a for-profit business. It's just we administer healing medicine and spirituality, and we talk about it. So then I have my coaching platform under my name, and I am putting together a course that will help initiate people into higher levels of consciousness. And I am also, so at this time I'm taking clients. I'm looking for clients. And my other little fun project that I'm working on is writing smutty romance novels. So under my pseudonym, Joan Bocchino. And that came out of a really interesting discovery, that as a priestess, we work in devotion to beauty, and we work in devotion to pleasure and passion and love. So that's kind of like a fun little gift that I want to give to my followers, exclusive gifts that I want to give to people. And it's also from a place of true femininity, passion, because that's been so toxic, so much of that culture of sex and pleasure and passion. And it's coming from a place of a woman's passions and a woman's desires. And so, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, but you still haven't told us your DJ name. You said you have 3 names.
Priestess House. Priestess House is my name. So Kate Arcangeli is my real name, and my DJ name is Priestess House, and then Joan Bocchino is my author name for the romance novels, not other things.
Yeah, I got you.
Just the romance novels. Her name's not coming out in other places, but so yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what are you, based on where you are right now, what would you say is your top priority at the moment?
Gosh, this week really threw me for a loop. I grew up here in West Michigan, and my family's from Detroit Metro originally. And oh man, I really, my priority is my course. And I've been working on it. And I don't have a really solid, I want a really good name. It's still, my intuition is, I'm just waiting for it to pop into my mind. I wanted to announce the name on this talk, but it's still, at this time, it's initiating you into higher levels of consciousness and knowledge. That's the specialty of the course. So I want a pop of a name for it, and I'm waiting for the Holy Spirit to help me with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to focus on the truths of the universe, that all is one, and we are not separate from one another, and that we actually live in a holographic reality. Our universe is fractal, and it's synergistic. And I want to really help heal this world that is not an agenda of separateness. It's agenda of togetherness and also interconnectedness.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be shifting my focus. And we will talk a lot about the shadows of racism. We will talk a lot about that. And when I say it threw me for a loop, I wasn't expecting it to be this dramatic. And I don't think anyone expected to take this turn so quickly. Mm-hmm. And so last year I was substitute teaching in inner city schools as well. And it was really interesting. My soul led me. I did it for 8 months. My soul led me in Battle Creek, Michigan, to do this. And I wasn't really sure why, but I did. And I think I know why. I learned a lot, and I'm going to be integrating that into the course. Mm-hmm. So absolutely. All is one, all is one, all is one. Nobody is separate. And there is no other. Mm-hmm. In really teaching these truths. That is absolutely number one priority in everything I'm doing, everything.
Yeah, awesome. So where did you, in terms of just your own journey, your inspirations, do you have any, how did you get on this path?
It's a great question. I got on this path through, there's a quote, and this man's name escapes me every time, but the quote goes like this: "Those who seek shall never find it, but it's only those who seek that shall find it." It's a great paradox. I went after it and I didn't. it was grace. It was my soul opening my heart up to grace. And so I met many, many, many messengers along the way, helpers that pushed me down this path. But truly, when I was a little girl, I always knew that I needed to do something greater than what was taught me. That, my mom wanted me to be, for example, this is kind of how I was raised. You're going to be a music teacher. You love to play music, right? And I knew it never set well with me. I was like, but I love music. So why wouldn't I want to teach it? I am a musician. I'm an artist. I'm not a teacher of the art. I am a creator of the art. I'm a creator. And in a lot of these, so I'm 34, like I said, when I was, 10 years old, we didn't know what was going to happen with social media. Like, I couldn't go around to my mom and be like, I'm going to be a life coach and a creator. I mean, these positions weren't around yet. So wouldn't you say it's a combination for all of us that get into this at this time? It's this combination of, we knew something was different and special and we were going to go pursue these paths, but weren't quite sure. And so yeah, it's been a graceful path of seeking.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And in terms of your message, right? Who do you believe your message is most suited for?
I've really, really struggled with that target audience question. I've spent eons trying to figure it out. At this time, it's those who recognize that healing comes from within, and that we must it only comes from within. You have to take responsibility for the life that you want to create. So whoever that is, 18 and up, please. Whoever that is. And this world is so open now with online. You can't even just say, I'm going to target the Midwest. There's no territory anymore. The territory is the world. Like, it's the world. So I've really struggled with it. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm creating the new target audience. And I honestly think I might eventually be able to help teach with this. I really have said, this is new paradigm. And as this is the new way that we are raising our consciousness. And they say it's about 1% of people. So, but there's a lot of us who are on that thin line and just ready to step over the line to higher consciousness. We know there's something else over the other side, right? We know there's the spirit world. We know, but we were told it doesn't exist, or that only the minister and the priest gets to play there. And so I'm looking for those people that are just finally ready to jump off that cliff with me, or they've already jumped off the cliff and we are going to rise together. Mm-hmm. If that makes any sense about my target audience.
Mm. Okay, cool. Because I believe that, especially with, as you said, with social media and those different things, it's like everyone has a voice now, right? So just like being a creator, once you're able to put, because that's one thing I realize with social media. It's like when someone creates a profile, right? Because social media, it's like those LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. That's really how we get connected. When someone creates a profile, one of the things they do is they just go out and say, okay, where do I fit in? Who's my tribe? Who are my audience? Who do I resonate with? And I think it's so powerful to be able to get to a point where we could just create. Because like you said, you're creative and stuff like that, just to create, whether it's messages, videos, all these different things, just sharing how we believe, what we think, and that type of stuff. And that just naturally just attracts the type of people that resonate with that message, right?
Yes. And I should also mention that I'm on Patreon. I'm also, if you've ever worked on Patreon, the social media platform for artists. Mm-hmm. I'm also on there under Priestess House. And yeah, see, I'm in that beta test market right now. Where are my groups? And I'm planning on starting my own Facebook club. It's a club now, right? Really, what is it? Group club. It's #The Feminine Touch is the name of my movement, about the grace, the gifts of the feminine and the graces of the feminine. So I actually have a question for you, if that's okay. May I ask you a question?
Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I'd like to make a group for men and a group for women. And my intuition is telling me to have the feminine touch for men and the feminine touch for women. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to ask if that resonates with you. My reasoning is because women and men have a different calibration when we come together than women and women. And I think eventually we might be able to do a unisex group, but my intuition is just, let's start out here so we can address these imbalances of our masculine, our feminine forces. And it's just different in men and women. So I have a feeling my healing medicine will be more for men. I need to approach it a little differently than I do for women. And I wanted to hear your thoughts on that as a male.
Yeah, I think it's very fascinating because when it comes to online, right? So what's your vision? Is it how would that look? What does it look like actually? Is it like a group where you meet, and how would that look?
At this time, it would be, so I'm getting ready to do this talk show. So you would reference these healers that I bring on the show.
Hmm.
Originally, I was only going to bring women healers, but since everything hit the fan this week, I just feel like I got to do both now.
Hmm.
And because notoriously it was the women witch and the whore wound. We were the most, silenced in the patriarchal religion. So I wanted to give women the platform. But really, I mean, the healer has been knocked left and right, whether or not you were male or female. So, and the voice of truth has been knocked down left and right. And so I'm thinking to myself, really, it's a platform of truth. So my vision for the group is to gather community, talk about, and I was raised Roman Catholic. I'm Italian American woman, through and through. And we call these the graces of the Holy Spirit. And I'm not taking, that's just the terminology from the Catholic Church, but I want to discuss the graces of the feminine and the graces of this energy. Because we're in this great imbalance where we overvalue the masculine forces. And honestly, I've really realized it as well. There's a lot of masculine that is not I'm sorry, how do I say this? Toxic masculinity too, as much as there's toxic femininity. So really what the group is to help rebalance our dual forces I'm a believer that we are not equal. I want to make that sound right.
Mm-hmm.
We are complementary. And that our truest gifts are in a complementary nature. So that's partly why I wanted to have separate gendered groups, because to address the pain of the male from the patriarchy and to address the pain of a female from patriarchy takes a little bit of a different approach that'll eventually come together. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we would be doing exercises, but mostly at this time, it would be a platform of a safe group. It's going to be private and where you can talk about lots of different things and where you're at, and we're in support group too. So, but yeah, I think it'd be fun to have a meeting every other week, probably a prayer group even. It's a good question. I don't know yet, but community.
Yeah. I think it'd be, I would say, when it comes to like that type of environment, which is again kind of like just getting started, I like saying go as wide as possible, mean that if you can both, that'd be ideal, because as you do, I believe that with experience of knowing what to do is based on seeing, okay, how do I get the experience of it first, and then once you get the experience, then saying, okay, how do I narrow now? So if you were to ask me, I would say I would go with both, do one for men, do one for women, and start there, get that, and then as you work it out, because I believe that everything we do, when we think about it, it works one way in our heads, but when we actually do it in the real world, it's like a little bit different, right? So if you do it in terms of having both of them, that'll kind of give you the insight you'll need to say, okay, whether you do want to continue going down that route or whether you do want to start maybe segmenting or separating. So I think that'd be the best way to approach it.
So do it separate at first, not together?
I would say, I would do it together first, and
I think, as I process this with you out loud, I do too. I process a lot of information out externally.
Mm-hmm.
And you've helped mirror back to me, the message. Like, I don't want to exclude. You've helped me process that. Your literal being has helped mirror back to me that I don't think we need this to be separate, that this is, but it is a healing platform. It's people interested in being healers, helping to heal the world. That is what will bring us together. And I think we all know we need a lot of healing right now. So it's we need a lot of healing, and we got a lot of work too.
Mhm.
So let's get to work, too. That's another thing too. I was like, let's get to work.
So let me ask you
And
this. What
yeah,
does the
go
work
ahead.
look like? When you say let's get to work, what does the work look like?
Yeah, well, one of my dreams is to lead an urban development minister group that will include ceremony and ritual. And my goal is to hit up Detroit, where my ancestors are from, and we're gonna go sit at the table across from one another in race relations. And I honestly want to do ceremonies with the ancestors on the land and go cleanse the land, the literal spaces in Detroit. I have a man, he does not know me yet, but there's a healer. He's on Gaia, the channel Gaia. His last name is Franco. He does sacred geometry, rewiring of the energy, ley lines in certain spots. That's another vision of mine, is to bring, it won't happen off the table, but that's like a big part that came to me this week. It's been coming to me for 2 years, but it became certain, like, you are going to do this this week. Because this idea that we are separate from one another has got to get healed, has got to get addressed, and got to get healed. So that's a big one. And then my courses are healing by nature. So that's knowledge. And then we would have other ceremonies as well. I'm trying to think, getting in touch, gathering. I really think we all need to get on the same page on where we're at, like address our objectives. How are we gonna, you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to gather those people. Are we all on the same page, that we're here, that we all know this universe is holographic, it's fractal, we're not living in a separatist way of seeing this world? And how do we go from here? How do we help the people know this truth, despite what mainstream culture tells us, that we are separate from one another when we're not? And I'm looking for those people. So put that out there too in today's talk. If you're interested, please reach out to me on Facebook. I'm gathering those folks who are ready to go and to put this into action.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Well, we're running short on time, but what's the best way if someone wants to reach out? What's the best way for them to connect?
I would send me a Facebook message. If you're not I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. You can send me an email. And did I say in my Patreon page? There's many ways to reach out to me. So, but let's hit up Facebook. You can type my name in really easy. I'm the only one. To this day, I'm the only Kate Arcangeli on Facebook.
Awesome. Love it.
So
Love
if you
it.
find me, it's me. There's not another.
I love it. Yeah. So Kate, Kate, hey, thank you so much for making the time to be here today. Really, really appreciate it. Do you have any final thoughts before we end?
I'm just grateful. It's been fun. It's really, thank you for having me, Extus. This is a great time. It's the first time I've really come out publicly. So you gave me a great gift today. I want to thank you. You are a generous soul, very generous man. Thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome. Well, hey, thank you again so much, and we'll be in touch. Okay.
Sounds good. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.